Let's see if this is actually going to work for me. So I haven't done a live in quite some time, but the weather is starting to get a little nasty. Not bad for you northerners. It'd be nothing. It's just rainy ice and sleet, but I'm in my little shop. But I thought, you know what? What a fun video would be is this is now my third year doing this. So what I wanted to do was just share with you guys. Share with you guys the journey that I've gone through. I'm trying to work on a mount here to hold this. And that's something I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about doing lives, setups. I'm going to hopefully it'll hold it. So part of the issue that I'm having right here is the mounts. I got to get people to get off my screen. My phone keeps answering it. So it's just casual day. It's just casual day. But I wanted to talk to people who want to get into being a content creator and stuff like that. So I'm just in my little teeny, it's like a 12 by 12 shop. And I want to talk about different ways that you can make money. Ways that I found don't work or hadn't worked for me, but I think work for other people. Ways that you can get in touch with companies, branded companies, and work with those branded companies, and kind of how you go about it. Companies that I find don't like to work with people who just pretty much put their nose up at you, and you're never gonna get a deal with them. Don't waste your time, kind of thing. So I think the first thing I'm gonna do, because I have one particular company that has reached out to me within the first year of me starting my business. My YouTube business. It's a business. You make money and you pay taxes on it. It's the way it goes. So that company, and I'm going to show you kind of how to set stuff up, lighting. I have 4 or 5 sponsors that have sent me stuff in here from chainsaws and stuff like that. So I'm going to try to be organized in my brain and kind of go through them if I can remember how I want to do this. So the biggest sponsor of my channel has been Preservation Solutions. And now that is a wood fortifying company that they make different treatments for different situations. So you have, obviously you have green wood when you first cut it. So you don't want to, so say, dry it and take the risk of the drying and it checking and stuff like that. Or you have cookies, mainly in my case, big cookies or oblong style, wood. So a lot of people follow me for the woodwork. Okay, it's really is true. And so that's what my sponsors kind of geared around. So here's one of the biggest things that I use with Preservation Solutions. It's the pentacryle. So that is my biggest advantage to having them is they send me products, I get to show it off, and then I make products out of it, and in the long term I make money off the products that I have treated with the pentacryle. So that's where that comes in nice. And then I've kind of got it set up over here, just kind of a sample of how you can set stuff up. Like say we're talking about something else, and I want this in the background so that people see it in the background. So since they have been with me the longest, I think I owe them the most to show them off. And I love their products. So this is in-grain sealer. So if you have, say you got lumber from a lumber yard right off the mill, or you're a lumber yard and you're milling, this is your in-grain sealer. They sell that. And then recently, they have sent me the log and beam treatment, which I got to do some reading up on that before I use it. And then the wood juice, this is for like semi-dry, like 24% and less. You can treat it with the wood juice. So I don't know if everything's coming out backwards on the camera because of the way I have it or not. So I might have to flip it around. I meant to bring my laptop out, and so I could see on the monitor what's going on. So who knows? So we got wood juice, the pentacrol for wood treatment. Then we have the log and beam, which we're going to be getting into. I'm going to do some more reading on that and get all the facts before I do a big video on it. Then I got the end grain sealer for you and your sealing your ends. And then when we're using the pentacrol to do the big giant cookies and like tables or oblong stuff, you want to seal the real large thick ones. You want to seal the face of it on each side with this before you wrap it up into basically a cardboard sandwich. And then you go and put it somewhere to dry. So that's that. And then another sponsor that had sent me some stuff. It's in a whole different, it goes in a whole different direction. And this is what I'm kind of going to get to in the video, is in the process of milling lumber and doing it, obviously we need chainsaws, okay? And then the chainsaws need a place to go when you're out and about to protect them. So Yarmar sent me these, and I use them quite often. I keep the reel saw in it. So something else they sent me too as well, as you guys might have seen, is they sent me a forestry helmet. So these are all from Yarmaris. And then they sent me, trying to see what I did with them. Well, they sent me these chaps right here. So these are a nice set of chaps. So for doing forestry, and these are more of a technical style. So I like those a lot. So let me just put these back up here. So the benefit of having a YouTube channel isn't always so much that you get paid directly from companies. It's more sometimes the products that you get enable me to do the work that I'm doing, and then that work produces an income for me. So that's an indirect way that you can make money, technically, because you're getting products that support your type of work that you do. So that's one way of doing that. Okay, and another way is by showcasing stuff like in the background. Like say we're sitting here talking, and I've got a steel chainsaw out and the bar oil and stuff like that. I could have gone a little bit further, you know, and put some of the oils out there. So say you do chainsaw work, or you have a shop and you like getting into the chainsaws and stuff like that. Well, you might have stuff like that sitting in the background because it may be your favorite brand or something like that. But I can tell you, you're not going to get anywhere with Steel or Husky. They're not going to send you saws. They're not going to do anything. It's been in my experience. They feel they're good enough. They're not going to do it. So even my local steel dealer, he says they won't give him a break if he gives me stuff. It's not a write-off or anything like that. So just keep that in mind before you try too hard with your company or your company, your YouTube channel. Don't, I guess, go after dreams that aren't going to happen. Be realistic. So it's just some companies don't want to work with content creators. They don't have any value in it. Don't waste your time. Okay, now let's see another sample. Say, like a lot of my work that I do is carpentry work, and I need good lighting. Now they didn't send me these. I bought these myself, but this is a sample. Say you do a lot of work where you need lights. Well, kind of how you get associated or involved with a company is you kind of have to take the first leap. You really do. You got to kind of take the first leap, show interest in their product, and most of the time, over time, they will possibly reach out to you. You could show their stuff, and over time, contact the company and says, look, I've been using your stuff for 1 year, 2 years, whatever. I love your stuff. Would you be willing to work with me? and send me some of your products. Now, I've had companies do that. As you notice in my little wood shop, I have Win tools. So it's Win's products, tools. I have a planer, the drill press, the bandsaw, the joiner. I got other products too. So I have a lot of their products. So when I'm in there in the wood shop, oh, the lathe. So I've had several wood lathes. So while I'm in the wood shop, these products are in the background and stuff like that. So Win has never sent me anything. I've always paid for it. So I do that in air quotes. So maybe Win, you guys want to work with me. But I like their products, okay? I like their products, and I feel that as you, the consumer, who may be watching the videos, I want to give you direction to something that I find value in. So that's another thing that you can use your YouTube channel for. And what happens too with the YouTube channel, say the Win planer, the Win joiner, the lathe. I'm an Amazon associate, so that's another thing. I can put an Amazon associate link in my videos, and I will. Like all these products that I'm getting ready to show you, when I go back and we're not live and I go back to edit it, because that's what you do, you can go back and edit it afterwards, I will put links to all this through my Amazon associates link. So that's another way as a YouTube content creator or content, whether you're on Facebook, TikTok, and any of the other ones, you can earn some money doing it that way. So that's one way. So that's an indirect way of making money on YouTube through links, through sales. They also have the products link where you can list, like if you ever gone to your videos, you're watching videos, you see products on the bottom where it says products. That's because the content creator has put those products out there because they believe that possibly it's something that you might be interested or they're interested and they want to share it with you. So if you purchase through those links, then they get a small percentage. It's nothing really huge. Nobody's getting rich doing it. But you know, when a content creator takes their time to do content, you know, they kind of, like me, I do it pretty much all the time. So now I have an income. It has nothing to do with YouTube. But this is fun. I enjoy doing this. Okay? It's a pain at times, and you get burnt out. It happens to everybody. So you have a way to make money through indirect sales, which would be through some kind of a link. If a sponsor gives you a link and they give you a promo code, they use that promo code to track to see how many people buy through your products. So, like, I'm going to turn the camera here for a second, and I'll show you another idea. Now, I have purchased a few of these. Let's see if I can swing. Let's see if I can swing the camera around without cutting it off. So let's see. We'll do it that way. See if that works. Okay. So Neotech reached out to me because mainly I have the 68 cc. I think it's in that bottom one. Neotech saw, and I've been running it, and I really like it. And then I bought this 72 cc. This is the 381 clone. Has the newer caps. So I purchased that one. I purchased the other one. And I really like them. They run really good. If you look back at some of my older posts, you'll see I had the Farmer Tech, I had the Holzforma. And out of the three, in all honesty, I really like the Holzforma. The thing with the Holzforma is the Holzformas had full wraps on them, and I don't like the full wraps. Here, East Coast, I didn't really need them. I had a 460 that I sold. I had a bad month. I needed to get the money, and I sold it, and I really regret it, but I did it, and that's just what it is. But I have plenty of chainsaws, so that's not an issue. So because I had those two, Neotech reached out to me and says, we love that you love our saws, and you love showing them. They said, what saw would you like to have? Well, if you look back, I had a 660 from Farmac that ran perfect. It was a great saw. I used it. But there was a few little things I didn't like about it. The plastics on those, the Farmacs, all the Farmacs, for some reason the plastic's a little cheaper. The saws are a little cheaper. So if you can live with it, you got some glue. You can glue the thing. That's what I did with super glue. It's no big deal. So they sent me this. This is the 92 cc. That's a big saw, and you won't see me running it as much because I'm That's just wears me out. But I do need a saw like that, and I will be using it when I get to some of my bigger logs. So there's another sample of how being a content creator allows you opportunity. So basically that's like a $500 saw with the 36-inch bar, which I have not used because I don't have any reason for it. I got a 28 on there, which I did buy the 28. 25 came with that saw. So I'm real happy with that. So that's, that's a $500 item. Okay, to say it's a $500 item that I didn't have to pay for. So that's a perk that you get from doing the YouTube. So the next thing I want to talk about is, like you can see in the background right here, you guys know I do woodwork. So let me move this stuff out of the way. So I do woodwork. So in my past, and some of you may know, may not know, I used to have a home improvement company and a landscape company. And I did it for years, and I absolutely loved building stuff. Like we built that addition with all the decks around it. We actually redid all the siding and the addition at the same time. And that's kind of what we would get into. I started getting into little ponds, and they were kind of fun. It's like a little side hustle for the business. I started building custom sheds. So like this guy, he couldn't get this shed in where it was. So we built it on site. So this was a good friend of mine that actually had a house down the road from where we're at. He bought a house in town, and he wanted to renovate it. Well, he wanted a deck, and he wanted me to build this little shed, but he wanted it to match. Well, the siding was bad on the house. So I ended up putting new siding on the house. I put the deck on. Well, what we did is we put the deck on, we did rip the siding off, got enough siding to do the house, did the house, and then we built that small shed. So back when things were a little more reasonable. And I have thousands of pictures that I haven't shared. These are just sitting there. So we did like little retaining walls and landscaping, stuff like that. We did a lot of decks. So that's another thing. If you're a content creator that has a company and you do all those things, like if I had Facebook back when I was doing it, they didn't have Facebook. They didn't have YouTube, none of that stuff when I was in business. So that's another way you could film your daily routine and the stuff that you do. And like Let's Dig 18, Mike from Dirt Perfect, CNS Equipment, just all those have their own companies. And yes, they're going to do really well with their videos. They're going to do really well with their YouTube, because they're just filming what they're doing already, making money. And it's cool. And I like watching it. So they kind of have an advantage, but that's just what it is. If you can film what you do every day and you have equipment and stuff, you most likely are going to have a bigger channel. It's just the way it works. So let me flip you back around here. So one of the things the reason, and I'm doing this on purpose. See the hand that gets in the way? So that's another thing. If you're using your phone, is you got to learn how to hold it and like move it around and do shots and stuff like that, and to talk with it. And you gotta kind of like be able to talk and look around and know the camera is facing you. That's something you're gonna have to learn to do. And while we're on that subject, let's talk about equipment. Let me flip it around. So while we're talking about filming, let's just take this as the next chapter. This right here goes around your chest, and you can wear it. It gives you the first person point of view. So you have that as an option. When I first started, I went through different cameras, and there's that little wire hanging down from the fishing rods. I never do. Anybody needs some fishing rods? They've been up there for years. Is the GoPro. So the GoPros were something that I really got into. It seemed like it was the thing. It was the best way to film, and I do use it. Like if I have several of them, or I had 4 of them, but I crushed one with the tractor. They're great because you can set them and go. But if you want like this, like action shots as you're moving around, the first person view, like if I put you right here like that, like you were on my chest mount, this is what you would see. So as I moved around, you would see what I'm doing. Okay, so that's another way. Then I have several of these. These are just like you can bend them everywhere, and you can twist this. This one, this brand right here, is different than another one I got, and it won't stay up. It just keeps fading down. There's something wrong in there. But there's another one That's going to be a link I'm going to put on there. So I'm going to put a link to a lot of these things that I'm showing you as far as video equipment and my sponsored stuff on there. So I just think it's fun. I really have a lot of fun doing this. So here's another thing that I've had. It's the second one. I've had this for some time. I'm going to put that together. It's a chainsaw mill. And that's mainly, really honestly, what I wanted that for. I can set it up on that. Once you get your first cut, it kind of holds its own weight on the log. So that's going to be fun. Chainsaw mill is fun. I had the 460. I used that on the chainsaw mill. It was a little weak when you're trying to cut through big stuff. So that 92cc should cover that just fine. So I'm an Echo guy. So you've seen me. I've had 3 or 4 Echoes. They don't sponsor me. Echo's another one I've talked to dealers that don't want to work with associates. So just don't waste your time on people like that. You're going to find that a lot of the Chinese company or Asian companies are going to be willing to work with you. They're trying to bring business. They're trying to make money. They're willing to get out there, take risks, work with content creators. You're going to find that, and that's just the way it is. So this little derail saw right here they sent me, which is basically just a gar winner. So that's a 62 20-inch bar CC saw. And I don't even know what I did. Somewhere I do have the gar winner. I think it's in there. So then another one you see, this is just another 6260. It's a sup mix. So those are kind of the perks. They didn't send me any money. They didn't write me a check. They just sent me an item to use, and I can use these items to do my work. And I don't have to pay for them. So that's another way as a content creator you can make money. So let me flip you around here real quick. So YouTube is pretty good as far as only having to have like 1,000 people and so many views to get into the partner program. I'm working on Facebook, but it's tough. They want 10,000 subscribers. It's just some ridiculous number. And then they'll just one comment and they'll say, "Oh, you can't qualify." I'm qualified, but I don't have the views or amount of people, and I'm not even really going to worry about it. So the second thing is lighting, or this would be the third thing, or maybe even the fourth thing. I don't know. I'm not keeping track. I have these overhead LED lights, and for this little shed, like I have way too many lights in here for a little. You don't need this many lights, but hopefully on the video it's clear. Like when I move my arms or I show stuff, there's not a lot of shadows in the background, so that's really nice. Something I do, you guys see these right here hanging out, these little Christmas lights. They're kind of nice for an ambiance in the background or something like that, or say you have products and like say, here, let's do this. Let's do this. This is fun Sunday. Just making a video. I haven't done a live in a long time. So we'll just kind of move stuff around. I'm just giving you, I wanted to do a video on what it was like trying different things and being a content creator. I just thought it was fun. So we'll set these back up there. Okay. And I'm just kind of making some of this stuff up as I go along. I mean, I know in theory what I'm trying to prove to you guys, but I'm just trying to give you ideas. So, Christmas lights. All right, let me see if I cut the other lights off. All right, so Christmas lights. I got another pack here that I hid on myself. I'm just trying to give you ideas. Here we go. And see how it kind of just a different look, but that's not really what I was going for. It didn't do the lighting I thought it would. Kind of like, that's the problem with live. It's just, it's tough. So I was going to show you just using some like mood lighting, just different lighting. Matter of fact, I got some other lights I want to show you up there that a company sent me that I didn't think I would have a place for them. And they just kind of sat in the house after I did a video. And then I was out here in the shop and I'm like, you know what? I don't have any direct lighting, you know, and it would be nice if I came out here in the dark and couldn't see, it would be nice if just like a one light came on or something. And I'll show you, I think the batteries are dead. So let's see how this does. This is just having fun, you know? Sunday BS day, I guess. So we'll hook that around there. We'll hook that around there. And we'll put that there. Just kind of do that. So, kind of gives it a different look. So if I was to walk over closer to it, let's just walk over to it. So it's not like we're out here where the big lights are. Let me spin you around here real quick. So somehow, why are my other lights? Oh, I undid the wrong plug. I was like, why is the other plug not working? There you go. So that kind of gives you an idea. Like you can give that kind of mood look, and you can zoom in. See how it kind of focuses on all the writing and everything? It kind of looks neat. So like when you're doing shorts and stuff like that, you can have fun with it. So that's the one thing I like about content creating is you can have, I'm trying to put the other light in, plug it back in. Excuse me. You can have a lot of fun making videos. Shorts are a big thing now. Shorts are a big thing. I'm going to find my water. I'm going to start coughing. So, the whole thing with shorts, like I did that little close up with the lights right there, showing that you do that in vertical versus horizontal, and you may add some music to it, and just kind of pan across, maybe pan in, and pan across each one so people can read it, and then pan back out. And that's the fun part about YouTube, or being a content creator. You can dream up all kinds of stuff and just run with it. I mean, look, if you think you're going to start doing content creator and get 1 million views on a video, well, don't even bother, because you're not. I've been doing this for 3 years. 3 years, I got 126,000 followers. Sometimes I'm all into it, sometimes I'm not. Sometimes the videos seem to come out really good, sometimes they don't. So I take it, like you say, take it with like a grain of salt. Take it for what it is. It's just to be fun. Yes, you can make some money, but if you look at a lot of these big content creators, they are getting burned out. I mean, look at Matt from Demolition. I mean, just imagine the amount of time that they always had to take. He finally decided to stop and focus on his family. I see lots of Matt's off-road. You know, he's been chilling and taking it easy. It's what you got to do. But if you want to be a content creator, it's a lot of fun. But just realize that even if you put a lot of time and a lot of effort in it, does not mean that it's going to be, you're going to get lots of money. I mean, it just doesn't mean that you're going to better stop your paying job and just start content creating. Because YouTube has definitely changed a lot. And it's just not there anymore. So there was a couple other items I wanted to show you over here. These right here, they're magnetic. So it's magnetic and it locks on there. And it's got a screw there. And you can put your GoPro there. Or there's another attachment that goes up to a flat piece. So these are really good because you can do this. Let's say it's mounted, you can pick your GoPro up, you can put it back, and then it locks. You turn it. Well, you're supposed to be able to turn it and lock it. So one of these, there it goes, it locks. I just try to turn the whole thing, so it locks. So those are a nice item to have that I suggest everybody get. You can get a kit. Another one is one of these right here. This one, for some reason, won't get all the way tight. Let's say you're walking around talking, you know, and you don't want it right in your face. Everybody wants their big face right in the camera. I hate doing that. I don't like doing that. But a lot of times when you're holding your camera, your arm's not long enough. But something like this right here swings your way out here like that, so you can see. So they're fun to do. Here, I'll give you an idea. Let's just put the camera on it. Let's just put the camera on it and see the difference so you guys can see. I'm trying not to hit the button where I knock it off, where I turn the live off. That's the one thing about doing it with your camera. So here. So look. So there. How'd that look? See, that's better, isn't it? So like, you get a lot of people, they've learned how to walk and talk and somehow keep that camera on them. I'll tell you, I'm not that good at it. Most of the time I need both hands. So, but see, like doing like that, you can reach way out. You give a nice perspective, kind of like in a distance as you're walking around doing something. But you got to kind of walk, and you got to kind of be in mind where this camera is as you're talking and looking. You know, like if you're pointing out there, you know to swing the camera back there. So, like I said, it can be a lot of fun doing content creating. It has been for me. There's been ups and downs. Sometimes I've liked it. Sometimes it didn't work out the way I thought it was going to work out. And this is the way it goes. So I just thought Sunday might be a good day. Some of you might be hanging out. And I just figured I'd put my 2 cents out there as far as what it's like being a content creator and the opportunities you might get as a content creator, some of the equipment you might use as a content creator, just some suggestions and ideas of different lighting and shorts and stuff like that. The one thing I didn't talk to you about real quick, and I'll just pull it out here real quick, is a DJI headset for your phone. So this is one of them. This right here plugs in to your C port, and then this one comes with 2 mics right here. So I might hook those up and then do another video just kind of playing around with those where I walk away from the camera, see how far I can get and stuff like that. So I am about to burn myself out of here with that heater. I think I already need one of those on. But it's Sunday. I just wanted to have a good time showing everybody a little bit about being a content creator and some of the sponsorships that you might be able to get and ideas on how to get a sponsorship. There's one thing I didn't cover, and I think I'll make another video going more in depth into some of these ideas. Because see, my way of content creating is different than some other people's. Like, I'm not in a piece of equipment all day. So I have to move cameras around, change stuff around in order to get a unique perspective and to change the perspective. Like here, I can walk around on this stick and hold the phone out. And I'm using a phone. I'm not using the GoPro. So this is a fun way to do it. A lot of creators do it, but your arm gets sore and you can have fun. You can move it around. You can swing it around. Look, it's a real fun way to give a neat perspective. So I hope at least some of that information and me rambling on will kind of help out. And if you're a company out there, of course, I'm going to do a hit up. If you're a company out there that works with any of these type of products that I work with and you want me to show them off, you know, send them to me. Send them to me along with any literature that you have. Telling me the more I can tell people about your product, the better it is for you and for me, because I can, if you're on Amazon, I can use an associate's link, send people over that way, and I'm good with that. I don't require, I've never asked any of my sponsors to ever send me money. Just send me products that you want me to work with. I'll work with them and show them off, and they'll help me to do what I do. So that'll be fine. So, but I really like the Neotech chainsaws. Now, some of you guys have seen where I got those. I've been more into the Neotech than the other Holzforma and stuff. So we'll be doing a lot with these as the weather warms up now that I'm feeling better finally. Over that stinking nasty cold that I've had, it was just, what a freaking mess. I think a lot of people just got sick as can be. But so I'm not coughing to death. I can breathe and do my thing now just for spring to get here. So, but it's all good. So anyway, Sunday, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're enjoying your day. And I will see you on the next video.